In Parental Guidance, problems arise when three kids' 21st century behaviors collide with their grandparents' old school methods.
I'm not going.
You're going.
That's what I meant.
We practically never see our grandchildren.
Her whole way of raising her kids is a giant in her face.
It's her generation. It's just their way.
What are you looking for, sailor? I'll help you out. It's an omen.
What's it an omen of?
Impending doom.
They're here! Grandpa tells lots of jokes that you won't get. Just laugh.
Hello, boys. Still single?
Every trailer for Parental Guidance pointed to it being a really bad movie, and I'm not even including the fact that they clearly tried to make people think it was a Christmas movie with the red and green font and the Christmassy music, and it clearly is not a Christmas movie. And perhaps it's because my expectations were so low, but I actually didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it wasn't that good, but I found myself laughing, and also it had a quality of not taking itself too seriously that actually made it acceptable. Had it taken itself seriously in the slightest, it would have been awful, but it really didn't. It actually was almost cartoony in a way. Let's get a little more into Parental Guidance, starting off with the plot and the writing, which is very simple. You've got the grandparents, Billy Crystal and Bette Midler, taking care of the kids, who kind of have first world problems, like I said, 21st century behavior, and I have to say, the moral of the story is basically that today's kids are pansies, and I completely agree, and so I actually loved the moral of the story. Basically, you know, the kids keep saying, oh, we can't do this, we can't go play outside because it's raining, we can't, you know, eat ice cream, we have to eat yogurt, and there's all different stuff like that, and the grandparents keep saying, the heck is wrong with you kids? You guys are jokes. And I agree, because a lot of kids are like that today. So I thought the movie was interesting in that sense, because I don't really see that real, not to say it's an issue, but that real sort of issue handled in movies often. Other than that, though, obviously that's not really a big deal. The movie is very simple, and I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say about it. It's kind of just, you know, fish out of water in a way, because it's the grandparents living in this world with all these different rules and stuff for a week. So it's just that. Really nothing special in that sense. I would say the special bit of the movie is in the directing, because like I said, it doesn't take itself seriously, and that's what this movie needs. And going along with the fact that it doesn't take itself too seriously, it almost has this sort of cartoony feeling to it, because for one example, there is a part where, you know, the parents are leaving the kids with the grandparents, and the one girl's, you know, she's like holding on to the sleeve of the mom, and she's being tugged back by Billy Crystal, and that's, you know, not realistic at all. It's very silly and, like I said, kind of cartoony, and there are things like that throughout the movie, and I do think it worked. I think overall they made the right choice in having this tone to something so simple. Now, obviously, the whole thing isn't devoid of heart. I won't say it takes itself seriously, but it tries to inject some heart, and I say it works because I think Billy Crystal did a good job, and Bette Midler and Marissa Tomei, I thought they were good, and so I think that it worked when they tried to inject a little bit of heart and a little bit of soul to this movie. And it wasn't overbearing, though. That's the important thing. Keeping in mind, of course, that it's very simple. And I've said that word a few times, but I want to reiterate that it's certainly nothing deep that you're going to be thinking about any longer than you leave the theater. And finally, the acting, like I said, I thought everybody was good. Billy Crystal seemed like he was having fun, and he's just a really funny guy in general, so I thought he was very funny. I was laughing a lot. Bette Midler kind of had the air of promotion, like she has a show coming up and she was making sure people was aware that she could, you know, sing and be funny and stuff like that, because of course she has to sing at one point. But it seemed like she was having a good time, and I thought she was fine. And also Marissa Tomei I thought was fine. She seemed like she was having a good time doing this sort of silly style movie. And yeah, overall nothing really specific about anybody else. All the kids were fine. I thought everybody was good. I mean, there was really no major problems with the movie other than the fact that it's just a very, very small movie. Kind of, you know, not so much been there, done that, because I thought the tone was appropriate and the tone was good for this movie, but, you know, it's nothing that I'm going to remember. I don't want to say forgettable, because I feel like that sounds really negative, but it's not really specifically memorable. But let me know in the comments what you thought of Parental Guidance. Did you have a good time while you were in the theater? I did. I was laughing, and obviously I knew it was kind of a cheese fest, but, you know, I had a good time watching it. Let me know what you thought of the interesting sort of cartoony style to it. Do you think that was necessary to such a silly little movie? Let me know what you thought of the acting. Let me know anything that you want about Parental Guidance. And that's pretty much it.
Pick me up here. Don't leave me stranded.
Have I ever left you stranded?
4 times when I was a kid.
It's like she thinks we're idiots. By the way, where is she?
Where have you been? I know.
I feel so close to you.